Now we're dealing with end of life planning. And now the surviving spouse and the adult children begin to argue. And one of the most common topics of disagreement is cremation versus burial, and what did mom want, right? And so you deal with that all the time.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, I think the more that you can put in your estate planning documents and in your wishes, the better. Get really specific. Here's where I want my service to be held. I want it to be a celebration, or I want it to be somber. I mean, it's so morbid to think about this, but it's really helpful to the people that you leave behind when you're very, very specific about, I want an oak casket and I want to be buried here. If you could buy the burial plot in advance, even better. A lot of people forget about the physical items in their household. But I guarantee you, your children haven't forgotten about that antique tea set, and they both want it. And so, I know families who go around and they put a sticker with somebody's name on the bottom of everything. Or my grandmother went through and she wrote a little note to us on the really special jewelry, and it made it so much easier. So just the more specific that you can be, the better. And this is the age-old tale of everybody fighting about everything when you're gone. And especially where your inheritance, the monetary stuff comes into play, people just get, in their grief, they get weird. And you cannot count on your children who, my kids get along great, it's not gonna be a problem. They get along great now while you're alive and you're guiding them and they want to, do right by you and show you that they're good kids. Once you pass, I'm sure they're great, but you also don't know how they're gonna behave towards each other. So being really specific. One of the best things that we've learned in our practice that you can do is have a conversation in advance about all of this. As awful and uncomfortable as that may seem, to sit your children and grandchildren down and say, okay, kids, here's what's gonna happen. And you may have to field some really difficult questions, but they're more likely to accept it over the time that they have to understand your thinking than they will if they're surprised by it upon your death. And so I would say, do them that favor. You've built this financial legacy for them. Why not give them this harmony legacy as well and allow them to understand your wishes, to feel loved, and to get along with their siblings who are now, in some cases, their business partners and things. I mean, it's just so critical that you talk about it. And there are outfits that can help you if you feel scared about doing that. Your attorney, your advisor.
Really, really good advice.